Hey there, I'm gonna teach you how to make gluten-free waffles today. I've been making these for quite a long time now. I have 2 teenage boys and they love it. They're always happy when they come home and they get gluten-free waffles and bacon. And both my boys are not gluten-free, but it tastes the same, I think even better. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. So we start with 1 cup of brown rice flour. This is not grain-free, but it is gluten-free, can be made vegan, can be made dairy-free. So 1 cup of brown rice flour, 1/2 cup of arrowroot starch. Then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of tapioca starch, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs. So if you want to make this vegan, obviously there's milk and there's eggs in it. So you could try to omit the eggs. I have never did that before, or you can substitute them for a flax egg, which is 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds to 3 tablespoons of water. Stir it up, let it sit a bit. It looks like this. Let me just give I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bit slimy, but it does replace an egg, so our egg's slimy, I guess. So you can replace the eggs with the flax seed. That equals 1 egg, is what I just told you. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed to 3 tablespoons of water is the equivalent of 1 actual egg. I have put 2 eggs in here, so I also have 1.5 cups of milk. You can use a alternative milk, an almond milk, a coconut milk. The one thing to note if you're going to use an alternative milk is your waffles will look very white. They won't have that brown look on the outside of them. I don't know why that is. I'm guessing because milk has some sugar in it. So if you change it to an almond milk, they're still gonna be crispy on the outside and nice and fluffy on the inside, but they will be more of a light brown white color rather than a really golden brown that you get from milk. You can also make this buttermilk if you want. You can use buttermilk. You can add a tablespoon of lemon juice to it, and let it sit for a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes. That will give you the buttermilk flavor, so you can do that as well. It's actually a pretty forgiving recipe. So I also need 1/4 cup of oil. I use avocado oil, so I will put 1/4 cup of oil in here. So 1/4 cup of oil, in it goes. You can put sugar. We put syrup on our pancakes and our waffles, so I don't add sugar to the batter, but if you're gonna use it and just put some butter on it and you wanna eat it like that, then I would suggest putting in a couple teaspoons of sugar, make it a little bit sweeter, more like a waffle. And then we're just going to whisk it all up. It's really easy, it's a 1 bowl thing. So I'll make these, I usually make a triple batch of these, and I cook them all up. I leave some in the fridge and I put some in the freezer, and then my boys can just pull them out, pop them in the toaster. It works perfectly. They taste exactly the same as when you've made them. So it's actually a really easy recipe. It's forgiving and it tastes just as good as non-gluten-free waffles. You can make them vegan, you can make them dairy-free and use eggs. You can adapt a lot of different things with it. So they're actually, a staple in our house. Well, we're gonna see how forgiving this recipe is because I just realized I put in 2 cups rather than 1.5 cups of milk. It is a runny consistency, but well, let's test it out because I said this is a really forgiving recipe, so we're gonna see really how forgiving it is. So let me heat up my waffle maker and we'll see how they come out. Okay, so we're ready to try these out. I'm using my sister Tina's waffle maker. It is a Chefman. I've never used this before. I actually have a Cuisinart Belgian waffle maker. I actually just bought my 2nd one. It finally conked out. I had it for quite a long time. So anyhow, we're gonna try this one out. Lots of steam coming out of there, but this one's a little smaller than the one I usually use. So this is quite runny, you'll see. And I think 1 scoop will do there. And we'll see how this comes out in about 4 minutes. Okay, let's see how this one turned out. Oh, well, I think I overflowed it a little bit. But it's just like some little cooked bits. All right. Let's take these little bits off here. Whew, a little bit hot. but it looks pretty good. It's not quite as deep as the one I have at home. Like when I use the Cuisinart, you get a little bit more of a Belgian waffle. This one is a little bit thinner. Probably will still taste as good, but it is not quite a Belgian. But I will show you the inside. Let's put a little bit of butter on it. A little bit of butter. Let that melt a little bit. A little bit of maple syrup because we're Canadian and that's all we eat is real maple syrup. Okay, let's see how these look in the middle. Fluffy, crispy. I prefer a Belgian waffle maker. Now, if you do decide that you're gonna make them vegan, they are not gonna be brown like this. It's gonna be more like this color here. A little whiter. It'll still be crispy, but it'll be a little bit whiter. I think maybe a little bit of the sugar in the milk, and this is just me guessing, but I think maybe the sugar in the milk helps make it brown. If anybody knows differently, let me know, but I think it's the sugar in the milk that gives it the brownness. And when you change it to vegan, there's usually no sugar in the vegan milks like coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk. Unless you're adding a sweetener to it, there is no sugar in it. So that's why I think they turn a lot whiter, but they're still really good. So there you go. Gluten-free waffles that taste as good as regular waffles. And I'm gonna try it. Pretty darn good, even though I put too much milk in it. But try and follow the recipe.